Keenan Shanholtz here on lot 216 in Ashton Woods. It's 24 acres. It has, I believe it's 1,100 and some feet of frontage on Clifford Run, which we're looking at right now. Now, June 14th. This creek doesn't always look like this in June 14th. Moorefield about washed away the other night due to some storms. But I'll have some pictures on my website, like some fall pictures of this, of the stream. I actually some years ago sold the lot directly over here on the other side of the stream. The property line's the center of the stream, and I sold lot, I think it was 55 some years ago, and I have some really good pictures that I'll use for this lot on my website and online and everything. That's a good representation of what the stream looks like. But where we're standing here now, this is the famous metal bridge over Clifford Hollow Run in Ashton Woods. And this property, just behind my truck, you can see a posted sign on a tree. This property has 100 feet of frontage on Ashton Woods Drive right here. And then the center of the bridge is, well, the center of the creek is the property boundary. And I shot some videos on the upper side of this lot, which you'll watch after you see this one. But Clifford Run is the biggest creek in Ashton Woods. I mean, even it dries up in July and August though, but it's very nice. And there's some fish in there. Some people say there's native trout. I've never caught one, but I've never fished for them either. But the thing about this lot here is, and there's no point in me going in there to shoot a video, but there's about 9 acres that's perfectly flat between the creek and the base of the mountain. And only a relatively small portion of that is in the flood zone, so you could build down here on the bottom. I mean, right down the road here, there's a house that's kind of built along the creek. I mean, you could stay out of the floodplain. You could be in the floodplain as long as the top of your bottom floor is a foot above the base flood elevation. So you could build down on the creek. But one of probably the best features about this thing is if you have a camper or an RV, it would be so easy to get the thing in here with a driveway back there and have a campsite along the creek. And you see the power's right there. And this is only about 2 miles, maybe 2.5 miles from the paved road out there at the west gate to Ashton Woods. And it is such an easy drive back here. There's no hills to pull or anything like that. So it would be super easy to get an RV or a camper if you were looking up for a lot for that specific purpose. So this one's a slam dunk for that. But anyhow, right here where we're at, you're maybe 15 minutes from a Walmart and a 4-lane superhighway. Easy in, easy out. Hear the creek running. Doesn't do that all the time that loud. But when I shot video 2 up on the ridge top, I could hear the creek running today when it's running as hard as it is right now. But 24 acres, I believe over 1,100 feet of frontage on the creek. 9 acres of perfectly flat land, and a building site with one hell of a view if you want to build the driveway to get to it. Keenan Shanholtz here, West Virginia Land and Home Realty. I'm on lot 216 in Ashton Woods, and we're going to call this video number 2. It's 24 acres here, and I'm up on the ridge top on this property. And video number 1 is going to be down by Clifford Run. I mean, this property has like 1,100 feet of frontage on Clifford Run. And I can actually hear Clifford Run right now from where I'm at. It's running pretty good right now. But if you can figure out how to get a driveway up here, this would be a top 10 lot in Ashton Woods. And there's like 370 lots in here. And I've seen about all of them. And I'll take video 3 down there to kind of show you at the road what I'm talking about. But when you're up on this little pine ridge, which isn't far at all off the road, in fact, there's like right below me here, there's a little logging road that kind of runs through this ridge top here. But when you're up on the crown of this hill, you got a view that way, and you got a heck of a view this way. And you can cut enough trees up here to where you can kind of get the best of both worlds up here. And I don't want to make anybody sick, but my battery's about dead here on the phone. Here's this little road bed right here, which, I mean, if you can get the driveway up over the bank, you can tie into this and use this. And there's a little bend in this road right here, so it's going to go back around that way. And right there's the perk hole where they did the perk test. But you can, and it's probably hard to see what I'm looking at right now, but you got a peak over this way that you see and a peak over this way that you can see. And like I said, I can hear the creek running right now. And if you pan around, I mean, you can see mountains that way too. And I'm just going to kind of look just back where I was standing at. So this is where water and mountains collide, where you can get primo mountain views and a stream that you can get to and use on the same lot. There's about 9 acres in this bottom that's perfectly flat and has all the creek frontage, and it's, you know, big hardwoods in there. And unlike most lots where you have the mountaintop and then it rolls down to the creek, you can't get to the creek. You know, it's too steep to walk to. But they were smart enough, as bad as they did adjusting the line down here on Trough View Road to make the driveway easier, they did a great job down along Ashton Woods Drive right by the bridge. And they left 100 feet of road frontage there, so you can drive down and around and park, and you actually have frontage on Ashton Woods Drive to walk right into the creek bottom. So you're not going to walk there from here, but you can ride and park on your own property and use all the creek frontage. Keenan Shanholtz here, West Virginia Land and Home Realty. We're calling this video 3 for lot 216 in Ashton Woods. And I'm standing along Trough View Road right now, and if you see the pink ribbon dangling there, that's the far right-hand side of the property if you're looking at it from Trough View Road. And if you see my sign up there on the tree, this is the quandary with this lot. This bank around here is steep, and you got to get up to where those pine trees are sticking up there. And I think you can do it. I mean, you're going to have to start cutting into the bank right there about where my sign is and kind of side hill it and put a switchback in it, and then tie into that old logging road where I took video number 2 up there. You know, and I mean, this bank's all shale, so it should dig out pretty easily, and you're going to have all kinds of material to use, so you're not going to have to haul a bunch of shale in here to build your driveway. But, you know, on most of these lots in here, and a lot of this depends on how long the driveway is, and this driveway wouldn't be terribly long at all. You're just going to have to dig a lot out of this bank and cut a lot with the loader to make it. But, you know, usually on most lots in here, you know, to put a driveway in, a pad, and to run the electricity, you know, you're looking at, you know, 15 to 20,000 or do that in most cases. I'd say here you're probably going to have 30 in it. You know, so you're going to have maybe $10,000 or $15,000 more than you would if you were starting from scratch with probably a normal driveway. And once again, that all depends on how long of a driveway you're building. But it's worth it on this lot. I think it would be worth the money to do it on this lot as opposed to, you know, building down along the creek, which you can do, and that's totally a personal choice. But, you know, I'll put it this way. If this lot had a driveway where you could drive up on that building site, you know, where and make a pad up there where the building site would be, right now this lot would probably bring 140 to 150,000. So it's listed at 115 for 24 acres, and all that, the factors are built into the pricing on this lot. So it's cheaper than you would normally see for a lot like this, but that's because we realize somebody's going to have to put a driveway in here to get up to the best building site.